I just saw this latest headline. Supposedly Chris Cornell of Soundgarden commits suicide. Supposedly, of course. But just like I covered so many times in the past with all these so-called celebrities, from David Bowie, Alan Rickman, Prince, it goes on and on. They always supposedly die out of nowhere. And this is to create the shock value. Basically, they pay their dues. They're basically running on fumes. Their careers are just about done. And this is how they create legends. And of course, suicide being the ultimate sin. Just like with the group In Excess. Same exact thing. With the lead singer committing suicide. Now let's take a look here at some of the details I found interesting. This supposedly went down in Detroit. And Dante Freeman, almost like Freemason, the Detroit Police Department, talking about, during this interview, saying basically they found this white male, dead in his bathroom. Let's take a look at some more of these details as well that I want to get into when it comes to the occult. Let me get down to the very bottom here. If I can make my way down. The last concert, this is where, again, when it all revolves around the occult, the group played at the Fox Theater in Detroit on Wednesday night. And I find it very suspicious. The last concert, the Fox Theater. Again, if you follow my channel, you know what this means. But one thing I want to touch upon first, let's take a look here, is also with Roger Ailes, the former chairman of Fox News. And again, the occult of Fox. And with his supposedly passing away, falling down, and dying, supposedly at the age of 77. Now, getting back to Chris Cornell, let's take a look here as well with the SeattlePI.com website. And just look at how many photos they have, how many images for Chris Cornell, one of 33. Of course, the magic number, the occultic number of 33. Not by chance, not by coincidence, with the number 33. And of course, they have Chris Cornell, which is not his real name, which I'll get into. Now, taking a look at Chris Cornell's profile, of course, not his real name. Born Christopher John Boyle. And, of course, the reason for the basically CC initials, first and last name, for those that know about numerology, this is how they work. The so-called elite, the universal language with names from numbers, with the CC being a 33, just like CC Devil, as in 33 Devil, with Bruce Anthony Johannesson. Of course, there's people behind the scenes that are behind all these names, these fabricated names. 33 Devil with CC DeVille, just coded. Same exact concept with Christopher Cross, born Christopher Geppert. Again, you get your cross as in Jesus Christ, cross, and you get, of course, your CC for 33 as well. And again, getting back to Chris Cornell, and supposedly passing away in his last concert was at Fox Theater in Detroit. Okay, take a look here, and you have your dual lines with the wings. Get your duality and the Fox once again. A little bit of a close-up look at Fox Theater in Detroit. And again, coded. This is our coded society where names are translated from numbers from this system that the elite operate by, with Fox, of course, being 666 in numerology, just like Triple X porn is 666 coded. Take a look here as well. Again, getting back to the former chairman of Fox News, Roger Ailes. And you see of course, the red and blue and the fox. And the red and blue, when you combine them, it makes purple. Just like Prince with Purple Rain. It's all about royalty. Everything's coded in this society by numbers, dates, colors, signs, and symbols. And there's, again, the concept of everything they do, there is a reason. And again, with Fox being hidden, 666. The masses, of course, only see this. The elite see what's right in front of us for those that are awake, and that's the 666. Also here as well, when it comes to 20th Century Fox, it's basically 20th Century 666. What it comes down to. And of course, corporation company, you get your CC for 33. You get your 666 and you get your 33 in plain sight. And again, it's just like the movie They Live, where everything's coded in plain sight with your triple X, with this vitamin water. It's 666 water when it all comes down to it. And again, like I mentioned, Fox News and the logo itself, basically being an uncapped pyramid in the 666, and again, getting back to XXX water. So, what it all comes down to, with all these so-called celebrities, such as Chris Cornell, supposedly passing away, this is all about the shock factor. You know, you don't hear about him supposedly on his deathbed, just like so with supposedly David Bowie passing away. It's always out of nowhere, out of the sudden, for the shock value. And this creates basically a legend when they do it this way. They don't let these people just grow old and pass away. This is their exit from society, basically retiring. And people might ask, where do these death fakers go? I believe they have a nice chunk of land set aside just for them. Where it is, who knows? But with all these so-called, deaths, suicides, from Prince, David Bowie, Alan Rickman, Chris Cornell, Kurt Cobain. Again, that's another thing I want to mention too when it comes to Kurt Cobain. Another Seattle product, Kurt Cobain, of course, supposedly committing suicide as well, just like Chris Cornell. Okay, here's a little bit of predictive programming with basically a gun in his hand and blowing out the smoke. And Kurt Cobain being a 33 name. And also, as well, besides being a 33 name, by the way, this is in Chaldean numerology. They work off two charts. Like I showed earlier, the Pythagorean chart after Pythagoras, and the Chaldean chart. This is after the Chaldeans from ancient Babylon. And of course, like I mentioned, Roger Ailes supposedly passing away at the age of 77, the Occult of Oz. And again, when it comes to Kurt Cobain in the 33, basically take his name. For those that are new to the whole concept of numerology, you take the whole name, just basically go over the chart, you get the K, you just add it all up, and you're going to get your 33. And this is why certain people are propped up in this world. And definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, all these celebrities that are supposedly passing away out of nowhere, dropping like flies, I'm not buying it. In this rigged reality where the mainstream media gives us nothing more than fake news, I'm not buying this. Why should we believe them when all they give us is fake news? And the whole entire concept of, again, the 33 and the occult of the Fox theory and the 666, this is nothing new. With the XXX, like I showed earlier, in the coded 666, going back in time, way back in time with this one root beer company, and your XXX, again, the coded 666. So this is the society we live in. This is nothing new what they're doing with all these fake death hoaxes throughout history.